Gabriel Ishmael Jallo. Um, uh, I want to spend some time with you guys this evening. I want to talk about a burning topic. I have to wear my cap, I forget, so that I'll have the royal looks to present my message to you guys, and especially my Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters, friends of Sierra Leone, members of the international community, um, uh, our brothers in the African Union and the ECOWAS, Mano River Union. ECOWAS, our president, Julius Madabio, is the present president or chairman of ECOWAS. But actually, this evening, I want to talk about democracy in Sierra Leone. I want to talk about democracy in Sierra Leone because there is no country in West Africa that suffered for democracy than Sierra Leone. Yeah, so please, before I entered my topic proper, um, uh, Facebook, you have to like, you have to send message. TikTok, you have to like, you have to subscribe, you have to comment, and you have to share it. TikTok, my friends, you guys, we have been together, and I'm very, very happy. Your likes, your award, give me, I want gifts because I'm about to pour my heart out. Sierra Leone democracy, is it under threat? That is a question that we will have to delve in. Sierra Leone is a small West African country that had independence in 1961. But our democratic trajectory that I'm about to talk about started actually around in the 90s. The military government, young military officers, on the 29th of April 1992, toppled the APC government that has been in power from 1967. So I think we have to say that is part of our democratic evolution because the NPRC, the young soldiers, which was the present, which the present president was part of. They believe that the APC exhausted its relevance and toppled the APC government. And they told us in their initial statement that they are not there to stay long in power. They are there to set the country, give us peace, and set the country to the glorious days of, for the glorious days in the international community. So that is why they toppled the government and they promised to send us back to democracy. So you bear with me that democracy, the building blocks of democracy actually started. I'm talking about after the long time of the APC in power, 1992. And the present president, who was a military leader, told the world that he toppled his boss, Captain Strasser, 4 years later, 1996, because Captain Strasser wanted to truncate the democratic process and elongate himself in power. So I think That's what encouraged Brigadier um, Julius Madabio to topple him. And 3 months after the coup, Madabio turned over power. So Sierra Leoneans have been giving Madabio thumbs up for that turning over of power. But at times I wonder if Madabio had an option. You see, Madabio, we need to know first of all that Madabio had no choice but to turn over power. I will explain. The Captain Strasser that he toppled, his colleagues were not comfortable with the coup. People who approach Strasser, they have the intention of causing havoc. He even retires some, sends some to ECOMOG. That's one threat. The RUF was all over the country. Yes, the RUF was at Mamama attacking Freetown. Then Julius Madabio called for the Bintumani 2 conference, where he now told the people of Sierra Leone that we should accept peace before election. But the Sierra Leoneans saw that move as a ploy to elongate their stay in power. Then Sierra Leoneans resisted. I was not that small boy that time. Yes, I've grown up. I saw that crisis that took place. People were beaten. The late Honorable Temu Bangura, Paramount Chief Civil Society, they rejected Julius Madabio. So for the thing to look like Julius Madabio humbly turned over power like Abdul Salami Abubakar, when Sani Abacha died, General Abdul Salami Abubakar became the head of state. So Abdul Salami Abubakar turned over power devoid of pressure. But that was not the case with Julius Madabio. So Julius Madabio turned over power, and they gave them the incentive for turnover power was to give them scholarship. They gave them scholarship to go abroad with his colleagues. So they went abroad, and the election took place. 1996 election. Sierra Leonean voted under pressure. Beloved, Sierra Leonean voted when the war was fighting. It's not like Liberia where there was a disarmament. It's not like other countries, like the Rwanda, where the genocide ended before Paul Kagame ran. But Sierra Leoneans, they were under pressure when they used their thumb to endorse democracy. Julius Madabio has no choice but to turn over power. The pressure. First of all, Sierra Leone never trusted the army. The entire armed forces we are seeing, we used to call them Sobel, soldier that become rebel. So Julius Madabio created the atmosphere for us to see Fode Sanko. Even that one has varieties of controversy because his sister was part of the RUF hierarchy. Because they were able to get Fode Sanko from the bushes through the Ivorian former foreign minister Esse Amara when Konan Bedi hosted the first peace talk that gave birth to the accord, the Lome Accord that created the atmosphere for peace in Sierra Leone. But before that peace, Sierra Leoneans have suffered. The Rebel Revolutionary United Front, or RUF, told Sierra Leoneans that because you want democracy, the thumb that you will use to vote, that is the thumb that we will cut. Our thumbs, we are cut off because of democracy. So I am laying the premise because there is a deliberate attempt by the present political establishment to derail democracy. We want the international community to know that Sierra Leoneans will not allow a derailment of their hard-won democracy. You see, I think Julius Maada Bio was now going to school under the goodwill that Sierra Leonean gave him. And he went to UK, he went to the United States, and they gave them, I think, $50,000 by then for them to relinquish power. And Julius Maada Bio went abroad. But Julius Maada Bio should know that when he turned over power, you see, as a young military officer who joined the armed forces of Sierra Leone on the 18th of March, 1986, and graduated on the 2nd of June, 1994. He should know on the 2nd of June, 1992, he should know that he has a legacy to protect. Julius Maada Bio has a legacy to protect. After he turned over power, yes, okay, he graduated on the 30th of October 1987 as a second lieutenant after getting recruited on 1986. 1992, at that young age, they took power. We danced for them. Hey, there is no government that Sierra Leoneans celebrated than NPRC. Awareness, power to the youth, power to the revolution. We suffered. Between the time that he left power to the time that Sierra Leone had peace, we have 3 operations that has a legacy in the minds of Sierra Leoneans, an indelible mark. The first one was announced by defunct RUF General Sam Mosquito Bokari, who died in Liberia. Sam Bokari looked at Sierra Leoneans and launched an Operation Spear No Soul. Operation Spear No Soul. That was what Sam Bokari launched just because Sierra Leoneans decided to accept democracy. As if that was not enough, Sam Bokari launched Operation Non-Living Thing. This is a Sierra Leonean rebel commander who wanted power, but looked at Sierra Leonean and spoke with Robbie White, BBC, and said he is launching an Operation Non-Living Thing because Sierra Leonean rejected them. We thought that was not enough. We thought that was, yes, not enough. Sam Hinga Norman, the former Deputy Defense Minister of Sierra Leone under the SLPP government of Chijan Kaba, that man launched an Operation Black December. People lost their lives. Sierra Leoneans paid for democracy with their blood. Sierra Leoneans paid for democracy with their limbs. Sierra Leoneans paid for democracy with their resources. Some of us, since we left, the feedback of that war has kept us in exile. I was in Liberia for a fact-finding mission. I visited the Sierra Leonean refugee camp where I registered in the 90s to see Sierra Leonean. They are still there. I saw how deplorable Sierra Leoneans are. That was the feedback of that civil war. And all that happened because Sierra Leonean accepted democracy. And on May 29, 1997, and let me go back. In the quest to maintain that democracy, Lieutenant Colonel Yaya Kanu, former Police Inspector General Bambe Kamara, Kauta Dumbuya, Salami Koka, many Sierra Leonean military officers were killed in December 1996. Julius Madabio and his colleagues said they have instituted a special commission of inquiry, not commission of inquiry, a special military tribunal, and killed Lieutenant Colonel Yaya Kanu, a man who fought gallantly to deny RUF taking over power. So I want people to know that this democratic evolution that Sierra Leonean absorbed, it was hardly fought. That was the first set of people that were killed. On May 29, 1997, Tambabori, a corporal, they broke the prison. Just imagine, our democracy was just 1 year. Tijan Kaba's democracy was a little bit above 1 year when soldiers decided to overthrow the government. Sierra Leone resisted a military junta for 9 months, no school, civil disobedience for the preservation of democracy. I am laying this premise because Sierra Leoneans will not negotiate with anybody that will want to play with our hard-won democracy. The return of Tijan Kaba, facilitated by Sani Abacha Ekomog, killed Sierra Leoneans than any other time in the history of Sierra Leone. We all remember, as soon as they say you are a collaborator, you are finished. Sierra Leoneans were burnt in tires. I escaped narrowly in Kenema. What was my crime? I said, I am not comfortable with ECOMOG bringing Tijan Kabab by force. We were advocating for a negotiation. When you do that, you are a junta collaborator. People died. Senior Sierra Leonean statesmen, traditional rulers, religious leaders, Sheikh Mustaba, Abu Black, people were killed for the so-called return of democracy. After the reinstatement of the legitimate government of Alhaji Tijan Kaba, another coup, another court-martial was unleashed. 38 Sierra Leoneans were killed. Lieutenant Colonel AKCC, that Sierra Leone military officer that speaks English like the Queen. AF Kamara, Captain Abubakar Kamara, our colleague Mipadi, way been they go high school. Brigadier Hassan Conte. All these men, they lost their lives primarily because the Sierra Leone People's Party said they are ready to preserve our democracy. Bravo, SLPP. One people, one country. Sierra Leoneans suffer for democracy. Today, there are Sierra Leoneans that don't have lips. There are Sierra Leoneans that don't have ears. You know, this part that I'm calling, when they cut your lip, I don't know why it doesn't grow. Because I don't want to talk about amputation. That Sierra Leonean man, Mama Beach, in Wellington, they asked him to dig his grave. He dug his own grave. They put him inside the grave and buried him alive. 7 pregnant women were buried in Bwedu, RUF headquarters, because a priest told them that they needed that as a supernatural medium for their headquarters not to fall. I can still remember between Kenema to Tongo, that place that they call Rebel Hill, where human skulls were packed like hips. All this was for the preservation of democracy. We are sorry, but we are telling all those who are masquerading or gerrymandering, thinking that they can trample upon our democracy, please have a second thought. It will not happen. Sierra Leoneans have decided to exercise patience for every party in government to do your 2 terms. After your 2 terms, come back to us. Allow us to determine what to do next, if we will extend your government. You know, Ronald Reagan has 2 terms. His vice president, George Bush Sr., had another term. They had the 3rd term. The late Buhari had 2 terms. His party chairman, Tinubu, is in power. Let the people decide. But anybody attempts to truncate our democratic evolution that Sierra Leoneans suffered for, it will not happen. Now, after Tijan Kaba announced the war done, January 2002, Tijan Kaba asked for our mandate. Even though we knew that the first election we just managed because we were under fire, we gave him 2nd term with the biggest victory than any party, any president have enjoyed under the 2nd Republic. When Alhaji Ahmed Tijan Kaba time ended, he conducted a free, transparent, and fair election. Alhaji Ahmed Tijan Kaba respected the vote, the rights of the Sierra Leonean to vote, and turn over power to Ernest Bai Koroma. Imagine there are two opposing parties. You know, SLPP need to know that Sierra Leoneans are no more fools. The Madabu SLPP should learn from the Tijan Kaba, Dr. Dembi, Solomon Berawa, Shalibu Jama, and others to know that it is painful to lose an election. But you are an employee of the people. So you have no choice but to adhere to the will of the people. Then, Ernest Bai Koroma, it's a painful exit. APC lost power 1992. When they went for election, 1996, look at their results. I thought APC was dead. But Editure and others decided to sell the APC story to Sierra Leoneans. They reminded them what APC did for them. Sierra Leoneans decided to send APC back to State House. Tijan Kaba respected it. The Solobi camp was never happy, but Pakaba respected it. Power was turned over to Ernest. Ernest Koroma, with his APC, it was painful to turn over to your opponent. You know, APC and SLPP, Makanda Yungela call them Alusan and Alasan. Ernest Koroma turned over power. But you see, I am saying this because President Julius Maada is undertaking a weird and useless venture. Now that your term is about to end, then you are telling us that you want a new system of democracy, the one that you did not practice. You, Julius Maada. Julius Maada, the governance system that you did not practice is the governance system that you want to leave with us as a legacy. The one what you not do, Papa, the one what you not do you. Now the one you want left for we as legacy. Never. God be you. It no go happen. You see, Julius Maada told us in his first term that he has accomplished all his manifesto promise. And he was giving us a buoya. You know, this buoya, I will let you know, is a tongue, it's a Sierra Leonean colloquial. Buoya. Yeah, he's giving us a dash. A dash again is another buoya. He said he has finished with all the goodies. He's giving us, I don't know. Yes, he's giving us an extra. He's giving us a bonus. A bonus. This man has an opportunity to unify Sierra Leoneans. Because when he left State House, reluctantly, he spent decades jobless. Sierra Leonean gave him another opportunity. He is the only president in Sierra Leone that took 3 oaths of office, 3, as a military leader, as a 2-term president. The first time, Sierra Leonean for the first time decided to test our democracy, to test the political elites. They sent Julius Maada Bio to the State House and give APC majority in parliament. That was the moment of reconciliation, sir. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had it in Liberia with George Weah's party. She did not send police in the House of Legislature to impose the speaker. Julius Maada Bio, your reconciliation message will not be accepted. It is fake. You dragged 10 members of parliament out of the well of parliament in gross disrespect to the people of Sierra Leone who voted and gave the Sierra Leonean governance a hung parliament. That was the time that you will have showed us that you want to reconcile the country. You influenced the courts. 10 lawmakers were driven from parliament just for you to have control over our country. Ngobio, thank you, sir. Please finish your term and go. We don't need your democratic lectures. We don't need it. Bio, you make the country so ungovernable that your predecessor, you harassed your predecessor and chased him out of the country. You humiliated him. I don't know if you have seen what will be coming for you after you will no longer have the state security to guide you. After you will be like me, like an ordinary me. When that successor will be the one that will even assign security for you and your wife. As for your wife, we have another talk for her. The de facto Prime Minister of Sierra Leone, Fatima Bio. Mr. President, you call Sierra Leonean terrorists. You initiated a mass burial for people that you killed because they are not aligned to your governance, your intimidative governance strategy. Evangelist Samson, rest in peace. Ngobio, you had an opportunity when Mabel Kaba, former 98.1 journalist, asked you, Mr. President, the country is deeply divided. What would you do? You said the country has been divided from the time of the white. When the white man left us, they left us divided. Mr. President, you say when the white man left us, they left us divided. So in that light, division is not a big deal. It's not a news. Hey, Mr. President. Clap for you, sir. But we don't need your democratic lectures. Mr. President, Under your tenure, people like Mohammed Kamarimba Mansari almost lost his life because he gave you an OTP advice, one-term president advice. Mr. President, musicians in Sierra Leone can only enjoy peace when they subscribe to your intimidation, when they subscribe to your style of government, then they will get peace. I wonder how LJ is enjoying peace in Sierra Leone. So I was like, how come LJ is enjoying peace in Sierra Leone like that? This is a man that was dragged to the police station every week. But today, this young man here, you caught the young man here. This young man here was caught, sir. Today, he is a peace ambassador that has no office. He's a peace ambassador that cannot call meeting between the opposing political parties. It's only a peace ambassador to engage his entertainment ambassador. That's the country that you are living. That's your legacy. Mr. President, we went to an election again. You design every strategy to win that election, including buying ingrates amongst members of the opposition. Mr. President, when you were elected, Sierra Leonean had 4 parties in parliament. The SLPP, the APC, the majority, that you denied, the SLPP, the NGC, that you scattered. Today, their boss is right behind your decks in State House. C for C is a shadow of its reality. Emerson Lamina has been bought. Please like, comments, subscribe. You, my friends, YouTube, you have been doing well in viewing my podcast. But do you know my problem with you? You don't subscribe. Please subscribe. Mr. President, you harassed your successor, your predecessor. You fought him. You said he should not even support his party. I've never seen that thing in my life. I saw Obama still campaigning for Democrats. I saw Michelle Obama campaigning for Democrats. I saw the late Jerry Rawlings campaigning for NDC. I saw Kufuor campaigning for NPP. But under the Madabio's government, under the Madabio system, the former president should be imposed as a statesman. But Victor Fo, who was a vice president, I have a topic for that man, who was a vice president, you don't have problem for him. You don't have problem when he is campaigning for you, but you have problem when Anes Koma was campaigning for his party. Ngo Mada. Good too. We are not interested in your democratic counseling. TikTok, please. Tap, and give me more like now. More like TikTok. Now, Mr. President, 2023, we went to an election that disgraced Sierra Leone. Is it the Qatar Foundation? Is that the European Union? Is that even the local observer knew? They said, you and Kone stole the election. Mr. President, are you ashamed are you not ashamed of Liberia? Mr. President, do you see that George Weah decided to accept the reality that there is a life after presidency? I just imagine after you will have left White House, our White House, the State House. Are you going to Tenhu, your village? Are you going to Bo Town? Will you be in Kenema? Because you will answer for your stewardship. That is why you want a power sharing. Where have you? What animal is that? Madam, what animal is that? Tell us. What animal is that? You see, Mr. Bio, you are a trailblazer. You are one of the luckiest Africans that had an opportunity to swear in, take oath 3 times. Olusegun Obasanjo does it, but it's twice. He was a military leader when General Murtala Muhammad was assassinated, I think 1979. He returned to power when Nigeria returned to democracy in 1999. Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings came to power in a military coup with the AFRC. He turned over power after an election that you did, that you are causing too much noise. That has been your legacy. You are causing too much noise, sir. Jerry Rawlings turned over power and returned with the PNDC, another military government, sworn 2 times. Jerry Rawlings again was sworn in as a president in his first term. Jerry Rawlings was sworn in as a president in his second term, so he sworn 4 times. So this noise that you are causing in Sierra Leone, Mr. President. Boyoya from Burundi also came twice. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama just made it twice. So, Mr. President, as I'm wrapping up, please, in the name of God, maintain your legacy. Let Sierra Leonean remember you, even though we'll be calling you to Kangi accounts. Maintain your legacy, Mr. President. I want to thank you for serving our country as a military leader. You come back as a democratic leader. We thank you, Mr. President. But please, don't tamper with our democratic evolution. We won't agree. Now that your time is coming to an end, conduct a free, transparent, and fair election. Turn over to the next president, which will not be your party. You see, Mr. President, you see, that's your man, Alpha Khan. No, I don't know Alpha Khan can. Alpha Khan, you are not the spokesperson for the people of Sierra Leone. You are the spokesperson for Julius Maada Bio. So forget about teaching Sierra Leoneans democracy. We know democracy. This is a multi-party democracy. We are not interested in power sharing. When your time is off, if you wanted power sharing, you will have shared power. If you want it now, these 2 years that remain, let's see if you are serious about power sharing. But trust me, we are not even interested in it, Mr. President. We are begging you. 2028. We don't want the Carter Foundation to degrade us again. We don't want the European Union to use us as an example of bad election. We don't want a situation where we will have a president that is ashamed to conduct an inauguration. Mr. President, you see when you have been talking like I took Sierra Leone to the United Nations Security Council president, and I've been going around and trying to clean the image of the country, and I am now the ECOWAS chairman. My wife is the president of the First Ladies. What happened to your second term inauguration? It was so shameful. That is a dent in our democracy. Please. In Ghana, we say, "Mi pacho." Mr. Bio, mi pacho, time done. See me, I want to see me, yo, Papa, because we go hold you boots for boots. Charles Taylor in jail. We still get sell for people like Charles Taylor if you try. Mr. President, we go investigate you. We know say all that merry-go-round. You know the seed where you plant in that country. Papa, good do. Thanks very much for viewing my live, and thank you. Oh, TikTok. Yes, three people were following me on YouTube. I know when I will have saved, then you have time to watch it. Facebook, I didn't see you tonight, this Saturday night, but when I save it, you have time to watch it. Again, I am Gabriel Ishmael. I am the convener of the Out of the Box podcast, the director of the Emmanuel Dankande Christian Foundation. And I want to thank you for your time. And I want the people, friends of Sierra Leone, to know that Julius Madabio will have no option but turn over power. We thank you. We thank Liberians. See the election that was held in Liberia, and how Liberians are now shining stars of democracy. How George Weah has emboldened the frontiers of democracy in Liberia. I'm ashamed. We gave $10 million to an electoral commission to give us, Mr. Kone, Dake, you will answer. Lahai Lawrence Lima. The time is coming. You see, when they give you power, it is the people's power. When you think that power is your power, the time of reckoning is here. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like. Oh, that's my Baba. Thanks. My Baba has been very, very lovely, man. Ima, thanks on TikTok. Thanks all my friends on Facebook, and thanks my guys on YouTube. Gabriel Ishmael. I'm very, very happy to be with you. We'll be talking about the First Lady of Sierra Leone tomorrow. Thanks. I am out of here. Yeah.